Hello, friends. Hello and welcome. Welcome to yours and mine, Cozy Corner. My name is Amanda, and on this channel, we talk about books, and more books. Where, guys, we are talking about part 17 in the 5 for 10 or less series. This is where I introduce 5 books that cost no more than $10 from various Goodwill stores. So let's get straight into it. And I have my notes. Now, the first book that I have is Crooked Little Vein by Warren Ellis. All right. This book, just like the rest of them, good condition. All right. Now, some of the pages in here is a little, a little funky, but I think that's just because it's like an older book and that it's not really anything majorly wrong with the book. It's just old. So, this is a mystery crime thriller, and the synopsis: burnt out private detective and self styled S magnate, Michael McGill needed a wake up call to jumpstart his dead career. What he got was an impossible assignment delivered directly from the president's heroin addict, heroin addicted chief of staff. It seems the Constitution of the United States has some skeletons in its closet. The founding fathers doubted that the document would be able to stave off human nature indefinitely. So they devised a backup constitution to deploy at the first sign of crisis. In the government's eyes, that time is now, as America is overgrown with perverts who spend more time surfing the web for fetish porn than they do reading a newspaper. They want to use the secret constitution to drive the country back to a time when civility, God, and mom's homemade apple pie were all that mattered. The only problem is no one can seem to find it. Okay, so I feel like this book is either going to be extremely funny or just extremely stupid. I don't know if it's going to be an in between, but this is actually, let me see, it's only 280 pages, so I'll be able to get through that quick. I think I might bump that one up on the TBR list to read because, like I said, I think it's either going to be really funny or it's just going to be really stupid. Who knows? Now, the next book I have is Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. This is a book that I think if you're into romance novels, that it probably needs no introduction. And you can see this book, just like the rest, good condition. But I will still give a synopsis because, again, what I'm familiar with, what someone else is familiar with, could be completely different. And of course, I know, the author's name. I've seen her books all over the place, but like I couldn't tell you anything about this book beyond, the notes that I've written. So, this is a contemporary romance. This is book number 1 in the Say You'll Remember Me series. And I believe there are 3 books total in that series. This is a playful yet deeply emotional romance where one date is all it takes for 2 people to know they're perfect for each other until one of them moves 2,000 miles away the next day. So I look forward to reading that because this will be, if this is the one I start with, this will be the very first book that I've read by this author. And I don't hold me to this, but I don't think that I have any other books by this author. And even if I do, I have not read anything by her yet, but I just hear really good reviews about her book. So I do look forward to that. Okay, the next book that I have is The Lake Escape by Jamie Day. And again, really good condition. Guys, I have not actually been to the Goodwill in a couple of weeks because I am really trying to get it together. I don't have the space on my bookshelf to buy as many books as I want to. and I had to put like a few of them on the floor here, which I absolutely do not like whatsoever. So I said that, over the next few months, I'm just going to be shopping my bookshelf because technically, the way I was supposed to set things up, and which I did for a long time, was after I read the book, usually I got it from the public library, and after I read the book, if it's something that, was a 5-star read to me, or, something I'm willing to read again, that's when it goes on my bookshelf. I didn't just go out there and get or buy a whole bunch of books and then place it on my bookshelf. But the problem with that is that, as a book lover, you do find yourself starting to, pick up books. And then when I went to the Goodwill and started finding books in great condition, like these books here, for $1 or $2, I simply kind of lost my mind. So the majority of the books up here are books that I have gotten from the Goodwill in the last several months. And I have several of these type of videos to do, and they are essentially book hauls. I mean, they're from the Goodwill, and yes, they cost less than books from like Best Buy. I mean, not Best Buy, Barnes and Noble, Books a Million, places like that. But they're still book hauls. So I was like, I need to kind of slow down. And again, not because I don't want the books, but because I just don't have the room. So I am going to try to do better with that in the next couple of months so that I can start to eliminate some of these books. But another problem is that if I actually like most of the books that I read and want to read them again, then that in itself will be a problem. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So, friends, I was talking so much about the Goodwill that I forgot that I didn't even give you the synopsis of the book until I started editing. So, my bad. So, going back to The Lake Escape by Jamie Day. This is a mystery suspense thriller, and we have Julia, David, and Erica. They grew up together, spending summers at their Vermont lake homes for as long as they can remember. Now adults, the three friends have amassed secrets over the years. This summer, David is eager to show off his newly renovated home, which now blocks his friends' cherished lake views and his much younger girlfriend. He also unwittingly brings a nanny with a hidden agenda. When David's girlfriend mysteriously vanishes after a shouting match, Julia and Erica wonder just how well they know their lifelong friend. As a search is mounted, an intricate web of lies, deceits, and betrayals spanning generations start to surface, and everyone finds themselves in danger of becoming the next victim of the lake or something darker. The next book that I have is Rage by Linda Castillo. All right, good condition. Okay, so this is Rage. This is a mystery suspense thriller. This is book number 17 in the Kate Burkholder series, and there are a total of 17 books. Now, this can be read as a standalone, but reading it in order will allow the reader to get to know Kate and her backstory. So, I don't know if it's like a series that have maybe 3, 4, I don't know, maybe even 6 books. I definitely know I would prefer to start from book one. But if it's a series that have 10, 17, 20, 30 books, I just cannot guarantee that I'm going to go back to the very first book to read that and, follow it in like a consecutive order. I just don't know. But with this one right here, we shall see. Now, the last book that I have is Truth Be Told by Kia Abdullah. All right, good condition. And these words are perfect text size. The print looks great in it. it's dark enough that it's easy to read. Now, this is also a mystery crime thriller. This is a duology here, and it's in the Zara, I believe it's Kalia series. I could be saying that wrong. But, and if you guys have never seen any of my videos, if it is not book number one in the series, I do not, go over the synopsis of the book because I don't want to accidentally give anything away. And this is, like I said, book number 2, and Rage was book number 17. So that's why I didn't cover the synopsis of that. But anyway, guys, that's all that I have. I hope you guys have stuck around to the end of the video. If you have, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will talk with you guys later. Bye.